Most people in the UFO community are aware of Bob Lazar, who famously claims to have worked on reverse engineering alien craft at a base called S4 at Papoose Lake near Area 51, hidden in the side of a hill. I'll provide a link to his interview with Joe Rogan for anyone who hasn't seen it yet. Most interviews with Bob, however, seem to leave out some details. These are some small sections from an interview Bob had with some people who were looking to turn his story into a movie many years ago. In them, Bob reveals details that aren't mentioned in his more famous interviews, so I just wanted to bring them to your attention. I'll also provide a link to the archive of the interview transcripts, so you can read them in full. Let's begin. We got out of the bus, and this is when that all ran through my mind. I said, "This is the secret fighter of the future that we're working on." We came in the hangar in the entrance, walked around it, and this is the first time that we picked up what I call parasitic guards that just are walking, and as you walk by, they just attach themselves alongside of you, holding barking, snarling dogs. Except these dogs were different. For all the fangs and snarling and barking, there was no sound coming out. The dogs had their vocal cords cut to avoid being detected. There was a very odd book where, as you moved the page every few degrees, it would go through different layers. And in one, they had a picture of a house, and it was like a mud hut type house. And you'd move it, and the grass would disappear. Move it, the mud would disappear. You'd see the superstructure. Move it, and you'd just see the internal dwelling area. And to me, that was amazing, because I couldn't possibly see how that could be done optically. It was very simplistic, and it just showed what lived in a dwelling like that. But the same thing. As you moved the page, this guy's clothes would drop. His skin would come off his muscles. It would do that. And instead of sitting there reading most of the text, I played with the photographs. Because even looking up close, I could not see. You could not get to a point where it would not take place. You know, if you had a 3D card in certain lights and certain angles, it just doesn't work. And you have to position it right. But no matter how this was, if you tilted it in a certain way, it worked. And to me, I was fascinated by that. The book had 2 front covers. If you flip the book over, this is where the stuff about Zeta Reticuli and other stuff would come from. In that alien section, that I call the alien section because it dealt with them, we were always referred to as containers. So it was definitely written from an alien point of view. No doubt about that. So aliens referred to us as containers. What were they saying about us as containers? I don't know. What left the impression, it said nothing about it, but the way I looked at it was biological containers, almost like culture dishes. Now that's just the impression I got from reading it, though it said nothing like it. It was almost containers of genetic material. There are a lot of ifs here, because you have to step back even, because are containers actually people is number one. Because at no point in there did it say containers are humans, okay? So immediately you're on unsteady ground. There was nothing that directly related interaction with humans verbatim that said that. The interaction was with containers, and they mentioned 65 corrections in the evolutionary process of containers. So that's pretty heavy stuff. What do you guys think about it? I mean, containers. Is Bob right? Could they be referring to our genes and we're being farmed for our genetics? I don't know. Let me know what you think.